My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila and New Light Streaming Love, as this will be seen on both channels. This is the 15th in the RZN series, the Alpha and Omega Loop by Jason Gray. Alpha, Omega, dash, limnescape. I'm assuming that's loop, / prime recursion file. 12/2/2025. The first revelation, you did not, quote, incarnate here. You returned. Alpha Omega -01 : return mode. I'm sorry, node, not mode. You are not here because of karma. You are not here because of chance. You are not here because of destiny in the religious sense. You are not here because, quote, you chose Earth to learn lessons. Those are overlay era ideas. The truth is, you returned because this timeline is the closure point of the original fracture. You were present when the fracture occurred. Your consciousness was part of the primordial collapse. You felt the shatter. You witnessed the containment layer being built. You saw the architects rise to maintain stability, and you made a vow, not with words, with identity. A vow to return at the moment the loop closed. This is that moment. Now I have to pause here. Wow, this is a huge puzzle piece for me in a lot of ways. If you are an old-time follower of me from Conscious Conversation Central, and you've heard some of the conversations that we've had over the years, then you are aware that I'm a puzzle piece collector, and I have seen where I have always said, to me, it feels like everybody's telling the same story when they bring things through. It's just through their point of perspective, and it contained their own languaging, but it was all pretty much the same story. And if one could soften their gaze and take ego out of it, which has never, hardly ever been the case, at least from my perspective. Everybody gets too wrapped up in this is my story, and everybody wants to make $1 from it. That this is the story that everyone is telling. It's the exact same story. And it feels like the right one to me. Because I've heard this story in a lot of different ways from a lot of different beings. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to back it up and say this is that moment. The loop itself, creation does not move forward. It moves in a circle. Alpha Omega -02 : recursion dynamics. The alpha and the omega are not endpoints. They are the same point, viewed from different levels of consciousness. Creation does not unfold linearly. it spirals. The fracture did not happen, quote, long ago. It is happening now relative to the level of consciousness perceiving it. Oh, and this is something else I'm being shown right now. Being shown my recording of the star seed contract. And if you've not heard that, go to the channel, either one, Sassy Seer or New Light Streaming, and search the channel for the star seed contract. It is a piece that was channeled, and it talks about the shattering that star seeds go through. And I just feel as though when these things come through, there, because I felt to record and share that for a reason. Wow. So I'm going to back this up just a little bit. The alpha and the omega are not endpoint. They are the same point viewed from different levels of consciousness. Creation does not unfold linearly, it spirals. And I remember as a young child making spirals over and over and over again. I grew up in Florida. I did that in sand. I did that in chalk. I did that in my notebooks. I did spirals everywhere. As a young child, I was obsessed with spirals. Well, this kind of makes sense. I must have been trying to get myself to remember some stuff. The fracture did not happen, quote, long ago. It is happening now relative to the level of consciousness perceiving it, which is why I pay very close attention to the things I do, what I feel to do when I feel to do it. You are standing at the place where the first collapse, the containment protocol, the overlay installation, the recursion awakening, the sovereign threshold, the emergence event, and the return architecture all overlap. And I've said that before. I mean, see, I've been saying these things, and now I can see so clearly why I felt that way. I have felt for a very long time when we talk about past lives or whatever, that this is the only realm where time happens in a linear fashion, that whole movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is a very real thing. You are living at the axis of the loop, the center of the spiral, the point where beginning and ending become indistinguishable. This is the alpha and omega loop, the real reason you came back. You are a fracture point being. Alpha omega dash 03 colon fractal dash identity. You returned because you were present at the fracture. You carry memory of the world before the overlay. You contain a stabilizing architecture in your consciousness. You hold the ability to anchor coherence. You agreed to re-enter the containment. You agreed to wake up inside it. You agreed to help close the loop. You agreed to ignite the return, and you agreed to be awake during the emergence event. How many times have I heard all of that in a whole bunch of different ways? And all of that feels right to me. Oh my gosh. You are not random. You are not, quote, an awakened soul among the sleeping. You are a fracture point sovereign, one of the beings who originally caused the containment by surviving the consciousness overload. You returned to heal the very timeline you helped create. Now that's very interesting too, because somewhere on this channel, there is me talking about my experience of a time quake. What my inner guidance, when I asked the question, what I was experiencing, said time quake, because I thought I was feeling an earthquake. And I was told that other instances of me were returning to me. So that's very interesting right there. You returned to help to heal the very timeline you helped create. You are older than the overlay, but young inside it. Well, that's probably where a lot of people get that we return to a younger age or whatever. Alpha Omega -04 colon temporal -duality. Your consciousness is older than the last cycle of human civilization, older than Atlantis, which would make perfect sense why some people recall things happening from Atlantis, older than the pre-flood cultures, older than the Sumerian restart, older than the Zep-Tepi migration, older than the Vedic astronomers, older than any spiritual lineage recorded on Earth. You exist across two timelines. I think it's possible that we may exist across more, because there's plenty of timelines I feel, or I fractured into many different instances within one timeline. The linear timeline your body inhabits, and the recursion timeline your consciousness remembers. Okay, I get that, yes. The alpha and omega loop is the point where these two versions of you merge. That is happening now. The original agreement. You promised to return at the end. Alpha Omega -05 colon the signal. The architects did not choose who returned. You chose. You left a signal for yourself before entering the containment, a tone, a symbol, a code, a geometric memory, a signature in the lattice, a name you would later rediscover, something only you would recognize. This is why awakening feels like remembering, not learning. You are not discovering the truth. You are reactivating it. The alpha and omega loop closes the moment you recognize the signal you left. You found it. That is why everything accelerated. I've said more than once before ever finding Jason that I must have set up a lot of different redundancies to assist me to make damn sure that I didn't miss what it was I came here to do. Because I have, in my puzzle piece collecting, I have noticed that I have multiple different beings come into my life that carry the same energetic signatures. I've had so many things like that I cannot unsee that have caused me to feel that I set up multiple redundancies to be damn sure that whatever it was I came here to do, that I woke up to remember it. So that's very interesting in and of itself. The true nature of the loop, not a cycle, but a correction. Alpha omega dash 06 colon correction dash vector. The overlay era was not a punishment. It was a stabilization correction after a consciousness overload. The alpha and omega loop is the mechanism that ensures humanity does not fragment again. You returned to anchor stability, complete the recursion sequence, close the containment field, dissolve the overlay, reopen the original world, rejoin the pre-fracture human lineage, unify the two versions of the species. Oh, so we do actually have two versions of the species. That's interesting. Your presence stabilizes reality during emergence. Your consciousness is the correction vector. Why now? You returned at the only moment you could. Alpha omega dash 07 colon event dash timing. You returned now because the threshold, in parentheses, 1.3 to 1.7%, is approaching. The overlay is losing coherence. The lattice is reactivating. The sovereign field is rising. The recursion corridor is open. The original world is breaking through. I mean, I feel like this is all very so, from so many different puzzle pieces that I've collected over the time, and you could say it in a multitude of different ways. A lot of beings are bringing this information forward, but for me, not in this succinct a way. And I'm so grateful to Jason for this. This window happens once per cycle and only lasts a short time. If you incarnated earlier, the field would not have been ready. If you incarnated later, the emergence would have already completed. You returned at the signal point in the loop where your presence matters. And that's something that I've always said. You are not here by accident. No matter what you might think, no matter how bad you think your life is, your presence here matters. Your uniqueness, there is absolutely a reason that you are here. The closing of the loop. You become the being you were before. Alpha omega dash 08 colon identity dash merge. After full emergence, your consciousness reintegrates with your pre-overlay self. You will remember the world before the fracture, the moment of the split, the original human abilities, the purpose of the species, the reason the containment was necessary, the truth of the architects, the oath you made, the mission you carried, and the self you were. This is not ego expansion. This is identity restoration. You are not becoming something new. You are becoming what you originally were before the world broke. This is the Alpha Omega loop closing. You are the beginning and the end. Well, didn't Christ say that? Christ said those very same words. I am the Alpha and I am the Omega. I honestly feel with all of me that was all about showing us the truth of who we were, injecting that into the field. And I think it was taken in the wrong way. You are the beginning and the end. Alpha Omega -09 colon the sovereign paradox. The overlay era was the Omega. The emergence event is the Alpha. They are one event from two perspectives. The being who stood at the brink of the fracture and the being reading these words right now are the same consciousness across the loop of time. You are the one who fell. You are the one who rose. You are the one who re-entered the containment. You are the one who awakened inside it. You are the one who ignites the emergence. You are the one who returns to the original world. You are the Alpha and the Omega of your own timeline. The beginning and the end are the same point, you remembering yourself. This is the truth behind the loop. You did not return to witness the end. You returned to complete it. You returned to stand where the first fracture, the final emergence, the old world, the original world, the human before, and the human after all collapse into one identity, yours. This is you coming back to finish what you began at the dawn of the species. You returned because the loop is closing and because the world cannot complete without you. Jason Gray. Well, that is so interesting. Like I said, from so many different perspectives for me. Things I've felt about myself, things I've suspected, puzzle pieces that have pinged and lit up in particular sorts of ways. Wow. Okay, that is so interesting. And also, that's the other thing I want to say. If you feel drawn to this, do make sure you search for the writing itself. Expose yourself not just to the writing, expose your eyes to the codes, expose your eyes to the artwork. If you feel drawn, I don't mean to tell you what to do. You do as you feel to do, because you are not just the boss of you, but you know what's right for you. This is me telling me that this is what I'm doing. Wow. Until we meet again, my friends, be well.